So this is going to be an update of my previous SEO case study video, the video where I talk about how I grew my client from 0 to 30,000 monthly organic clicks in less than 6 months. And I just wanted to give you guys an update and show you guys what a really successful SEO case study looked like. So if we actually check analytics here, I've added in a 3-year time frame, and what we're looking at is basically the breakdown of the traffic that's coming in through organic search. We see that 90% of the users that are coming in to this website are coming in through this organic channel, and the main source is Google. And as we can see right here, guys, this website has very easily cleared that 1 million organic users metric that we're all aiming for. And it's a shame that we can't go further back than the last 16 months inside of Search Console, because if we could, we would see much more accurate number here. But as we can see, in the last 16 months, this website has gained almost 1 million clicks organically, right? So things are definitely going well here. This SEO strategy is working phenomenally. The traffic is only going to keep growing. But let's talk about what's working for them and what you guys can learn from this specific SEO case study. The craziest thing about this specific case study is that these guys haven't really done any serious link building, right? Link building has never been a priority for them. They've just really focused and invested very heavily in their content. And this is actually something that we can see right away when we take a look at their website on Ahrefs. We see that they have a domain rating of a 36, and Ahrefs is giving us an estimate of 114,000 of organic traffic. This is quite a lot higher than the actual real organic traffic that they're getting. They're getting around 60, 70, 80,000 in monthly organic traffic. But even then, guys, having that much traffic and having such a low domain rating means that these guys are doing something very well. So if they aren't doing link building, what are they doing that's working so well for them? Well, since day one, from that first blog post that we did, we've always focused and had a very strong priority for on-page SEO. And so I actually do a very deep dive of on-page SEO on my SEO course, which you guys will find a link for that in the description. But even though I can't actually show you guys the actual articles and the specific keywords that we're ranking for, what we did when we were starting out is that we took some serious inspiration from healthline.com, the health and fitness website. And so the main thing that we did there is we tried to copy how they structure their content. And there's a few elements that I want to point out. So I've actually opened up here an article inside of Healthline that's doing quite well. And the first thing I want to talk about is the specific heading. So there's a few things here. The first thing we did is we tried to notice the type of structure that Healthline had for all of their content, right? So Healthline has a very clear structure of headings. They have that main H1 with that keyword all the way at the top. And then they use H2s and H3s as their subheadings. And they also include variations of that main keyword. Another thing that Healthline does very well is they'll have a bunch of subheadings that are formatted as questions. And because of the amount of subheadings and little separations that they have inside of their content, what they accidentally and almost indirectly do is create a lot of featured snippet possibilities, right? What others are calling snippet bait. And so this is something that we also took into our content, and we made sure to add this absolutely everywhere. So I'll be talking a little bit more about that in a second. Another thing that we took from Healthline was this little table of contents type of section that they have in their content. So we've added a real table of contents, and that's more for user experience, just because a lot of the articles they're doing very well for this website are quite long, and so it helps users find specifically what they're looking for instead of having to scroll through and read things that they're not really interested in. So the next thing that we took from Healthline is the number of internal and external links that they have. So if you're ever on Healthline and you click on any of the links on a Healthline article, you're going to see, as we just saw right now, that most of the links are actually internal links to other pieces of content that they've written. So the main thing here is allowing that page authority to pass from one page to the next. And so that way, any page that is connected has that extra authority and has that extra bump if they have any traffic potential. So highly recommend focusing a lot on internal links. We've seen some real solid success from that. A fourth thing here is this specific section of an author bio. So this is something that Healthline does very well. Healthline is the king of author bios, right? So they'll tell us who medically reviewed this specific article. And this is very important because they are actually talking about something in the health niche, right? So specifically, we're talking about the flu. And then we also have a page for the actual content writer. We can also find a link to another social media profile. And so this is something that we also adapted onto our content. content is specifically because this website is in the health and fitness space. When we are giving recommendations for a specific health habit that you should change or something you should adapt, people just like Google would like to know the qualifications of that person. And so we take that very seriously. We have an author bio for every single piece of content that's published. And that way Google knows that the person that's behind all that content actually knows what they're talking about. And the last thing here is that Healthline loves to add resources all the way at the bottom. So this is almost like an external link down here, right? They have 19 sources. And this is something that we've also been adding again because we are in that health niche. It's important to show Google that if we are talking about something very specific, we have a source of that information and we're not just making it up on the spot. The crazy thing about this type of structure that Healthline follows is that indirectly, as I said before, you create a lot of snippet bait, right? And doing this has actually led this website to getting a bunch of very powerful featured snippets. So let's check out Ahrefs here. If we go into the organic keyword section here, we're going to see that not only are these guys ranking for some very powerful keywords, but this first one right here, 33,000 in monthly organic volume, position number 1. But not only that, these little quotes are basically signifying that this is a featured snippet. So if we scroll down, again, another keyword with 4K, another keyword 2.9K, again, another featured snippet, 3K featured snippet. So these are all different topics that these guys are ranking for. Unfortunately, again, I can't show you guys the specific keywords, but a lot of featured snippets here. And the craziest thing is if we actually check some of these keywords inside of Google Search Console, let me find this one specifically. Let me select the actual keyword here. So take a look at the average click-through rate here, guys, 36% for that keyword that has a featured snippet. So an incredible amount of people, they're deciding to click on that link as soon as they see it. So this is very, very high, way above the average. This is a perfect example of why featured snippets are so powerful and why we need to be thinking about adding snippet bait and adding anything that's going to help us get a featured snippet into our content. Highly recommend you guys watch this video where I do a deep dive into featured snippets. So they've had a very big investment in content. They focus a lot on page, focusing a lot on quality over quantity. These guys are publishing around one high quality piece of content per week, really trying to find all the content angles, doing some deep keyword research, doing some deep competitor analysis to see all of the things that their competitors have done and trying to 10x that content every single time, right? So this is something that is quite hard to do, but it is working out for quite well. A last thing I want to touch on is that because of the actual type of SEO that this website is doing, which is extremely white hat, no serious link building, and focusing exclusively on their high quality content, these guys are completely stress-free when there's new Google algorithm updates. Obviously, they're receptive to real significant changes in the algorithm. So an example here is when Google announced their page experience update, they were very quick to make those changes and to make sure their website speed was up to par. And so if we actually check out their page experience section here, we're going to see that they have 99.5% of URLs with a good page experience on mobile, right? This is quite ridiculous, very difficult to do specifically for mobile. It's usually easier on desktop. And so they've had a very, very high priority of making sure that their website is very fast for mobile, knowing that Google is moving in that direction. So this website has a lot of potential. I honestly think they're just getting started. This traffic is going to blow up in the next couple of years. If you guys want me to guide you through my on-page SEO checklist, highly recommend you guys check out this video. And otherwise, if you want me to teach you SEO from scratch, check out the link in the description. There's also a discount for the month of September. Thanks for sticking till the end, guys. I'll see you in the next one.